On this episode, we talk about getting funds to start your business and whether you should find a co-founder or outsource work in the beginning. Hey everybody, welcome to episode 54 of the AskEngine show. I am super stoked to be back. I was in Little Rock Monday, which you're going to be seeing this on Wednesday. So meeting with a few potential clients, having some great conversations, but I'm excited to be back here talking to y'all. We've got two questions for you today. We're going to go ahead and jump right in with question number one. Question number one says, how do people get the funds to start a business? So to give you some context on this question, they have a business idea involving renting vans. Neither of them know much about starting a business, and they've started looking for like bank loans, small business loans, and they're coming up to some friction there. And so, you've got a couple schools of thought here. I think what's the Dallas Mavericks owner? He's on Shark Tank. Mark Cuban. So Mark Cuban has a famous quote saying, if you have to get a loan to start a business, you're an idiot. And he says it much more meanly than I just said it there. But so you've got a couple options. So when you're trying to raise money, you start with friends, family, and fools is the three F's in startup culture. So you need to understand exactly how much money you need. Operating expenses, I would recommend not paying yourself from that money unless you absolutely have to, because if you're going and asking for money, you're basically asking for someone to give you a loan to pay yourself. So find out your startup costs, and then you need to explain how they're going to get their money back in return. You need to explain the business idea, and that's important. But if I'm giving you money, the only thing that I care about is when am I getting my money back and how much money is my money making me. So if you're going to look at startup investors, companies, VC firms, things like that, they're looking for ways of how to 10x to 100x their investment over a 3 to 5 year period. If it's a true venture capital firm, then it might be even shorter period, but you're probably not going to get money. So you're looking for seed money, angel money. So they need to know how they're going to get their money back. Friends, family, and fools is kind of the first place to go. If you're looking for a loan, a lot of times you're going to have different requirements based on the bank. There's a lot of grants you can get. So if you go to, I don't know what state you're in, but go in and look for grants for starting a business. If you're a minority, you can get a grant. If you have a business that is building infrastructure or giving back in some way, there's grants for that. You need to be super crafty about how you're asking for money and how you're getting it. I would highly recommend if you can avoid it at all costs, do not get a bank loan, simply because you're going to have to put up collateral. And then secondly, you're going to be paying interest on that super quickly. You want money that's coming in that you're either not going to have to pay interest on for a little bit of time or money that's forgivable. And so those are kind of my two things there. Now, when it comes to the business plan aspect of it, business plan is super important, but you need to tailor the plan to the person you're talking to. So if you're going and pitching seed investors or you're going and pitching people of that nature, it needs to make sense based on what their portfolio is. You're not going to go, if you're renting vans and you need a lot of capital for physical stuff, you're not going to come to a company like us and say, hey, I'm trying to do this because we invest in e-commerce companies. We invest in what we know. So you need to tailor that. So I would go into angellist.co, find out all the angel investors within a 50-mile radius and try like hell to get in there and talk to them, figure out ways to get in there. And then thirdly, if you can't raise money, it's about patience. So you need to go get a job, save up money for 5 years. I mean, like the audacity that our generation has that someone else is going to pay for your dream is quite unsettling. When you think about like our parents, the generation before ours, they would work for 20 years to save up enough money to take a risk to lose that money and start their own business. We as a generation are just not patient enough. So if you're wanting to start a business, you can't get money, put the idea on hold, go work 2 jobs, save up money, live frugally, and then build up the money needed to then go start your business. If that sounds like too much work, you probably shouldn't be starting your business in the first place. Hope that helps. Question number 2. From Reddit, it says, should I find a co-founder or start with outsourcing? Question mark. Great question. So a lot of this is going to depend on who you are as a person. When you're looking for co-founders, ultimately, if it's not someone within your Rolodex, if it's not someone that you know pretty well, you're really going to struggle to find a co-founder that you're going to resonate with, and that if you're looking to raise capital, to find investment from. Because if I'm an investor and you just picked your co-founder from meetup.com and you gave him 50% of the equity, I'm gonna worry about y'all's relationship and your ability to make cohesive decisions, or just communicate effectively, build a business together. So I would personally recommend, if you have the funding and you want to keep control of the company, I wouldn't go find a co-founder. I would bring on talent, and you can sell them the idea of being able to own part of the business, but you need to vet them first if you don't know them. You don't want to go and sign 20% of your company away to someone who is dead weight to the company. And then when you're outsourcing, you can get a lot of work done outsourcing things, and it's a lot more of an upfront cost, but it may not be a death blow to your business 5 years down the road. If you are going to bring on a co-founder, I highly recommend that you focus on, there needs to be a vetting period that they are going to get capital, or get equity in the company. So it needs to be a 12-month vetting process and then a 36-month vesting period. I would just recommend doing that, because you don't want to, again, sign away part of your company without really vetting someone before you do that. So hope that helps. Appreciate y'all watching. Question of the day. Both of these are kind of around startups. So I want to know, if you've got a business idea, what do you think's holding you back from starting that business? I would be super interested to know, what people are pursuing their dreams, what people are not, if you're being patient, if you're not, what's going on. If you have a business idea, why haven't you started it? Thank you all for watching, and we will talk to you tomorrow.